over 20 years back. For someone is being demanded taxes of 2013, 2010, and yet in the laws that we made in the previous parliament, we put a provision where anyone who has an outstanding tax as of 2016, the entire tax, the principal, the penalties, and everything should be cleared off. And then those of you who are clearing off your taxes in this current financial year, as long as you pay your outstanding principal, they should waive off the entire interest and penalty. But we see people still being demanded these huge sums.
Thank you. Yes, Honorable Naki.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I've had the privilege of looking at the applications for tax waivers as a member of the Finance Committee, and as Karim.
And please, you don't discuss what is going on.
I'm not going into the details.
Yes.
I'm giving a general view. Now, my concern has been, for example, you have a supplier who has supplied goods to one company, and say the invoice is 100 million. When they are paying this person, they are going to pay 94 million. They are retaining 6 million as withholding tax. Then this entity which has retained the 6 million is failing to remit the 6 million to URA. And yet this person is supposed to be credited in URA under his account because the 6 million is supposed to help him to offset future taxes. Now, if you don't remit, that is theft. They are simply stealing people's money because you have collected the 6%, but you have refused to remit to URA, and you are claiming that you have difficulty because you have used the money maybe to buy an iPhone for your girlfriend. So that is not our problem. This House must therefore pronounce itself that in case of waivers, they should apply to other taxes, but not withholding tax, because that is money for third parties. It is not for the entities. Thank you.
I hope there is no one who is whom they are bringing on the floor. Because withholding means if you are supposed to pay me 1 million, okay, you're going to pay me 940,000. You remain with my 60,000, which you remit URA, and then when I have future tax obligations, I come and reconcile with URA. Now, for companies which are withholding tax exempted, you pay them free. So how come you got money to pay this one free, and then mine, which you took away under the law, you can't remit it? I hope no one is asking for such an exemption. That would be weird. I would be interested to understand more how that would happen. I've already picked the colleagues to speak. It was Honorable Javira next, then Honorable Timgiwi.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I thank the Minister for this criteria, because the whole country has been asking, how are these tax waivers given? How are the taxpayers selected for these tax waivers? But I wanted to note a few things. First of all, on the arrangement of the document. Honorable Speaker, in March last year, the Minister presented another similar document that is about the governance framework for tax expenditures. And that document was well arranged, indicating the objectives. We have copies here that we derived from your website. Yes, and they are presented by the Minister. So that document indicated very well the objectives, the rationale, but this one leaves the readers to fish out these very important introductory statements, which the Minister should have clarified in his presentation. The other issue, Right Honorable Speaker, the Minister also doesn't clearly state the responsibilities of the key stakeholders in these documents. For instance, the taxpayer, the Ministry, URA, and so on and so forth. I think it would have been prudent.
Thank you. Honorable Timothy.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, the Uganda Revenue Authority always tracks it and has data on compliance of VAT, on how many people are not filing up, or entities, including individuals. But we have never seen any system showing how many people are actually not claiming, or how many entities are not claiming for the VAT. And that report has also never been brought here by the Minister of Finance. VAT is supposed to be claimed back. So what happens to that money that the many people who are not claiming? Secondly, Right Honorable Speaker, in most of the international airports, you find that there is a clear channel on how foreign nationals can claim back their tax before exiting the country. In our airport at Entebbe, we do not see that. Because people who have purchased, who have valid receipts, are supposed to claim back before departure in their country. What systems are there in place? And in terms of waivers, we have seen some medical workers, including the nurses, who are actually being charged even taxes on their allowance, as little as even lunch allowance. What is the ministry doing in trying to help them with the little pay they get, including the ones of the interns here? We have seen they get 1.2 and they lose over 200,000 on taxes. What is the ministry doing on trying to help some of our medical interns and workers in waiving the taxes as little as even on lunch allowance? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Moiru. Then Honorable Kungu.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Minister, for the statement in the format it has been described by our Shadow Minister. Right Honorable Speaker and the Minister, you've talked about waivers, but this statement falls short of talking about the blue paper by the President, where the President, the Minister of Finance, pays taxes for selected or specified business people. So I want to know how those people access for Minister of, what is the criteria for Minister of Finance paying for selected business people taxes? Because you are telling us which is provided for in the schedule as waivers, and the one which is moved by the Commissioner General of Uganda Revenue Authority, if it has been applied, but you are not speaking to those blue papers. Maybe also your statement would show us how many people have benefited from the blue paper and how they were actually arrived at. I thank you.
Yeah, but Honorable, why don't we limit ourselves? Because I say I don't want the minister to be accused of answering what he has not been. You see, this was a requirement by the floor. He was guided on what to bring.
Right Honorable Speaker, the statement is talking about a waiver. If I'm supposed to pay a tax, and the Minister of Finance undertakes to pay my tax, it is in a waiver. It is a waiver in a way. But
no, there is a difference between a waiver and an exemption. Yes, because we provide all these. Let the minister, okay, I request Honorable Muiru that the minister be limited to what we told him to do. And then maybe we can ask for more information, okay, if needed, if we wanted to widen the scope.
Right, Honorable, the exemptions are within the law, and the schedule of the relevant act provides for the exemptions. And the waivers we're talking about, it is also provided for under the law, which is recommended by the Commissioner General URA on instance of the taxpayer. But there are also waivers, the minister has understood them, where blue papers fly to Minister of Finance, and Minister of Finance pays.
Okay. Now, to play safe, Honorable Muir has said the minister has understood them. So, you, the presiding officer, you have done. The minister has understood. So, Honorable Minister, you will explain what you've understood. Honorable Kungu.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Once again, I'm Kungu Samuel. I represent the people of Chiguru North Constituency in Iganga District. Right Honorable Speaker, I got the opportunity of working with the Uganda Revenue Authority for 12 years. And during that time, I noticed that this is one of the sections of the law which is highly abused because it is not really definite. As you've seen, the definition is, the minister used here, the definition of hardship,
and so on are not defined in the Act. The indicators he gave us here are not here. Right Honourable Speaker, we want the Act to be specific. Let there be a practice note so that we know what is hardship. We don't want a situation where someone says, this is hardship, this is not hardship. Because the section says, if the Commissioner General is of the opinion, this is opinion. We don't want subjectivity in these words. Let there be a practice notes to define this, I submit.
Thank you. Honorable Katavazi, then Honorable Seke. We conclude with Honorable Seke.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to make my comments on the statement delivered by the Minister. I want to thank the Minister for giving us a starting point, especially for members of Parliament sitting on the Finance Committee and members of Parliament generally. Right Honorable Speaker, the statement is talking about hardships, but is not expanding to look at the protective measures against this potential abuse, because there could be those individuals who might transfer assets, who might decide to move assets out of this country, and the person is creating artificial hardships. So we need this to be expanded to include those protections so that we give waivers to those who deserve them. There's also an issue of government hardship and administrative lapses that the Minister talked about. This needs also to be expanded. There could be those hardships that are occasioned by government delay, for example, to pay a supplier. You know, tax on accrual basis. You have supplied, you have indicated this as income earned, and the URA has registered it, and then it starts attracting penalties, and government takes 10 years to pay. Those are some of the hardships that we might talk about. Then there's all hardships that come through administrative lapses. You go to URA, you go to objections, they send you to ADR, from ADR, Tax Appeals Tribunal, to mediation. And then you discover that some of the solutions that you are looking at, URA is not in position to give you a remedy. URA is simply tossing you up and about. So I think
thank you. Then
Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. Mr. Minister, thank you very much for the statement. Right Honourable Speaker, there is a particular category of taxpayers that the Minister is not talking about. When the government started distributing coffee seeds, a supplier was required to open a TIN number because they were doing business. But once this program stopped, these people were not submitting returns. But each time, each year, URA continues sending assessments, and these monies keep on increasing. And when you look at this person, stopped business long time ago, but money keeps on increasing. Where do they go? I hope probably those ones would benefit from the tax waivers. I tried to take some of my farmers to the URA, but we are not helped. So I want the Honourable Minister to help us. How do we address this? Because the money keeps on increasing, but they are not able to pay. Thank you.
Now, Honourable Minister, this matter, you very well know, you've been here. I think it is an issue of trust and fairness. People believing that for you to get a tax waiver, you have to be connected. Okay? And that's because when we go back, we ask questions. We receive people asking, how can a taxpayer from Mitoma, from Ik, from Kabong, from where, get on this list? Because when you look at the people who are benefiting, Kampara, so the big guys who are around. So, and yet we have very, very small people who are even struggling most. Number two, when you go, maybe this time I think we should instruct the Committee on Finance. I had seen the chair here. That since the minister has given very clear parameters, before bring us a report, go visit these businesses, establish. You'll find some of them are doing extremely well. There are some who are genuinely struggling, but you'll find some who are doing well. Okay, but it goes with the proverbial verse in the Bible, where those who have, that's a feeling of the people. That's a general feeling of the people. So, Honourable Minister, I request that you look into that issue deeply, of trust of people believing that there is a fair process which can be accessed by anyone, small or big, and they can have a chance. Not only the big connected people who have access to URA, to the ministry, to the president, that can benefit. Honourable Minister? Now, if Rob, I had sat on Dr. Wakida, so if I'm to allow you, I'll allow Dr. Wakida, because he has been behind some of these studies for some time. Dr. Wakida, then I allow Rob, then the Minister responds.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The purpose of tax waiver have been defined. Unfortunately, we will be seeking clarity from the minister, because out of those clarities, you get a lot of money lost. If you look at the reports from the Auditor General, right from 2022, 2023, 2022, 2024, 2025, it all talks about government losing revenue due to abuse of tax exemptions and waivers. There is inadequate monitoring. Even the ministry itself admitted that 1.3 trillion in waivers could not be accounted for in a 2024-2025. 1.3 trillion in waivers. I'll give you the report. When you read the PAC reports of 2024-2025, it also talks about how the ministry is giving away taxes and getting nothing in return. The bottom line, Honorable Minister, you are not being duped by the taxpayers, but the policy we make in this house will help the Ministry of Finance. It will help all of those people in the revenue collection to solve this problem. But let me ask the Honorable Minister here. Honorable Minister, if this house asked you
Otaferwa aha tayari West.
Polycystic ovarian disease ninga okushanga omuntu amahurige gazame bizimba. Ebyo bizimba bikija bikatandika kuleta enteje kamagara, so bikatuma wayongera ezo shemeko ine nkomukyara ninga obuzimba buri omu mahuru bukakuleeteramu hormones ninga entegeka amagara ez'omushaija ezowotakwetaaga so okatandikana n'obuzimba bw'omu mahuru obwe okahenderana n'omubiri gwawe guhindukire konka polycystic nikimanyisa ngu oyina obuzimba bwingi omu mahuri gawe bukanyire munonga kandi niyo hormonal imbalance ekusingayo okuteganisa abakyara bari mu reproductive age abato. Olivia orabiroryaho ukahurira ngu ninga maybe omukyara ninga omuki mugenzi wawe na sharingane bakakugira ati ni missing a period kuzo michwe ubwayenzire ubwayenzire ni mayisa ngu wazame biro 5 ukwezi okurije wazama 21 wagira oti ha byaje biro 6 echo wala chatandika kutahamu omuntu basa kuba tukuzo mu polycystic ovarian disease.
Stake. Did you actually establish the value of this company? And there is no report on all these different things. How does company X know I can also benefit the way they by a farmer, Atiak, Inspire, and so on get to benefit? These things are not clear. And by the way, government, you end up struggling. So people begin to accuse you to say, this day by a farmer, this Inspire, it must be owned by a powerful person in government. And yet that might not even be true. But when there is no clarity so that others get to benefit, it becomes a problem.
Thank you. Honourable Minister.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, and I want to thank colleagues for the input they have made on my statement. Mr. Speaker, I want to start with the Honorable Joel Senyonyi. Mr. Speaker, we passed a law here called the Investment Code Act. It defines all the incentives we extend to our investors. And also, every year, we pass tax laws. In the Investment Code Act, we said tax incentives will always be provided for in various tax laws. And Mr. Speaker, when you refer to our tax laws in place, they define most of these concerns members have been provided by this House in the law. For example, we say if you are investing in a hotel business of a certain investment capital, here are the following incentives or exemptions that you will be given. So, therefore, Honorable Senyonyi, except for the exceptional circumstances, I can come here and explain those which are not already in the existing laws. I can study the exemptions we have given, the exemptions or the incentives we have given, then I come back and explain. I want to touch the ambiguity element together with what Honorable Chichoncho Katabazi, in Kabale we call him KP. He's the MP for Chiga. The ambiguity element. Mr. Speaker, yes, every colleague here has a right to be suspicious. When there is suspicion, what is the remedy for suspicion? The remedy for suspicion is controls. If you are managing an entity, in order to prevent me from doing what I'm not supposed to do, you put controls in place. What controls have we put in place to ensure that this aspect of suspicion, protection from abuse is dealt with? Mr. Speaker, as I explained, we start with URA. From URA to finance. From finance, you come to Parliament. And then eventually, a decision is arrived at. At every stage, this criteria I have defined should be checked. That is the importance of internal control mechanisms. And where you find a loophole, you flag it. You say, no, here, this one should not qualify because of the following reasons. And Mr. Speaker, I want to assure the House that there are very many unqualifying companies which want to move along this section of the law, which have failed to pass the test. Even in this parliament here, I remember last parliament, I brought a company. I will not mention the name because it is in business. No. But I know Parliament rejected my request because they subjected this company to this criteria and it could not meet the test. And I considered. So, Mr. Speaker, another question. Honorable Wakida, Doctor, we need to differentiate between a tax waiver and a tax exemption. Most of the companies you are referring to fall under the category of tax exemption. So the exemption lists the companies, the 50, together with the job creation. I am going to bring you to do a study for the House and come back here and present the 50 companies who have given waivers and how the waivers have benefited this economy. That information, Right Honorable Speaker, I can provide. The one of tea seedlings, I don't have information with me now. Honorable Mwiru, Paul, accessing tax waiver through a blue letter. Yes, it is true. The President is the chief executive of this country, and he listens to the concerns of the people of Uganda. But when he sends a blue letter, the last paragraph mainly is asking me to ascertain whether the law, whether what he wishes to provide fits within the law. So I must make sure that the presidential directive is implemented in accordance with this criteria which I have given. If it doesn't meet the criteria, I write back. I go back to him and say, Sir, Your Excellency, this taxpayer wished to have this, but the law provides otherwise, and I advise how best the taxpayer can be helped. Then there is another colleague. I think my first response also catered for the MP from Chiguru. Then there is on taxation of allowances, lunch allowance. Mr. Speaker, Section 19 of the Income Tax Act provides for employment income. And employment income includes, it is basic salary plus other allowances, which includes lunch allowance. So, Mr. Chair, we are not doing, sorry, Mr. Speaker, we are not doing anything outside the law. Whatever we are taxing is in accordance with the law which Parliament has considered and passed. Key stakeholders in the process, Honorable Isaac, I will find out, I'm not in practice now, I will find out unclaimed VAT, especially at the airport, how we deal with it, the treatment of VAT which is not claimed. I have taken your concern. The tax expenditure framework by Honorable Javira, which we have on our website. I think also Honorable Akida saw that website. Mr. Speaker, this is a comprehensive report that deals with exemptions, remissions, waivers, and all the other things we do. And I think, let me say this. These exemptions are always reviewed to check whether they are meeting the economic objectives. And where we find that a certain exemption has lived its usefulness, we normally come back here seeking termination. So I will be, in the second half of the year, when we are considering the budget, I look forward to having more engagements and give you a report to those we feel they are doing well and should be maintained, and those we propose to terminate. And today I was meeting with the business sector. We had the regional industrialization conference. The key issue here coming out, and which we shall consult the private sector further about, is they want equal treatment. They want this principle of taxation to apply, equity. If a manufacturer X is getting an incentive or an exemption and is in the production of a product which is being produced by another manufacturer Y, who is paying, not getting, this brings unfairness in the market. And they have asked me to find ways of bringing uniformity in the business environment by addressing some of these challenges. Mr. Speaker, pay as you earn, it should be paid when it falls due. We are telling you this company is sick. We are telling you these companies we are facilitating are sick. So when you are sick, sometimes you fail to eat, or you eat what you are not supposed to eat, including pay as you earn for the people whom you are supposed to pay it for. Honorable Karim, we implement tax laws as they are. If we pass a law that we shall offset all those obligations which fell due from 2016 and below, and this was done here by me and you not long ago in May. So allow me time to implement the law. The tax laws of May came into force in July. Give me 3 months, I come back and give you feedback. But we shall implement the laws as they were passed by Parliament. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I submit.
Thank you. Now, colleagues, you've seen, we cannot just leave it to the minister alone. Section 43 of the Tax Procedures Code Act gives us enough power to scrutinize deeply. So we are part of the steps. So, Honorable Max Ochai, I know you know this very, very well. So I think for any tax exemptions that we bring reports on here for approval, we should include visiting the companies. Yeah, visiting the companies, seeing whether they still even exist, seeing how they are state. If we find you have capacity to do your work and recover, we shouldn't be giving you that waiver, you know. Otherwise, it's causing us many problems. Some people coming, petitioning you, I need a waiver. So I hope we do a thorough job using the law. So colleagues, let's go back to our item on electricity. These were also very critical items. I think we've done a good job in this short time on these critical issues. Now, on this item, can I first call the item, then I guide.
Item 3.1, statement on rural electrification in the country.
Yeah, honorable colleagues, the minister reached out to me and said that there is a part which he had not worked on and he felt during the debate we were touching it. part of what they are doing and the projects they have in the pipeline. I remember I had asked him to tell us about that. So, Honourable Minister, I can give you 10 minutes. You update us on that, and then we continue with the debate. Honourable Nsamba is asking, are you changing the statement, or this is an addendum or addition? And it's uploaded.
Right, Honorable Speaker, I'm not changing the item. It is actually, I presented the past. That was rare. I didn't get an opportunity to present what the Rural Electrification Department is doing and what has been packaged for the future.
Honorable, that's a misrepresentation. When you say you didn't get an opportunity, your whole statement was captured. You didn't bring that. You have brought it today, and I'm allowing you to do it.
Thank you.
I'm being generous, so don't portray me wrongly.
Thank you.
Procedure, Honorable Nsamba.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, we need to be very careful with this minister.
Don't point at him. You're scaring him. Okay?
Right Honourable, he was the minister when polls were delivered to people's constituencies. Because of the pressure the members of parliament were putting up. After the elections, those polls were picked in some constituencies and taken away. Now, I am worried, Right Honourable Speaker, because of the pressure the members have put up, he might have concocted something to give promise to members so that the members can, everybody can calm down, and at the end of the day, nothing will be done. Right Honourable Speaker, are we proceeding well when we gave this minister time to present a statement and he presented the whole of it, and now he's bringing an addendum and we want to accept it? Are we proceeding well, Right Honourable?
Now, Honourable, the minister said he presented the past. Okay? Now he wanted to update you with the present and the future. And also, I think you can be kind enough not to accuse the minister of concocting in anticipation. Why don't you clarify that? Because concocting is a strong word. And then we give him a chance, he presents.
Maybe, Right Honourable, I used a wrong word, maybe. But I meant that this ministry is fond of lying to members.
Oh, that's even worse.
I want him to confirm that what he's going to present before we accept that it is not another lie.
Can we say this minister maybe is not used to fulfilling what he tells us here? Because the situations can make you fail to fulfill what you...
You know, Right Honourable, I have some blood of the Wachiga. Sometimes I say things the way I feel them. So he can confirm to us that this is the truth, and members, whatever they promise is going to happen in members' constituencies. Otherwise, Right Honourable, many members of parliament lost elections because of accusations of not doing work when the ministry was given opportunity, and they just move on like that. Okay, so I'm just worried, Right Honourable.
Yeah, I was cautious of not applying Rule 86 on anticipation. Because we shouldn't anticipate and say, Honourable Minister, I know you, what you're going to present is... So let's give him a benefit of doubt. The minister presents, and then we debate what he presents. Honourable Minister, this is an addendum for purposes of the Hansard team.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Thank you, my colleague, who have always worked together. So new projects which are actually, which have commenced, projects which have commenced, going by what we debated. Rural electrification project funded by government of Uganda, we have 7 lots. These 7 lots are ongoing, and the cost is 145 billion, and you approved the release of that money.
And that project is covering Lot 8 and Lot 4, covering those continuity from Lot 8 and Lot 4 of the rural electrification. And that project covers major parts of the country. And this is the project where I received 30 billion shillings at the end of the budget. And as we talk, many contractors who are on those lots are actually out in the field working. And many of you have actually thanked me for those projects to be on board. Number 2, and it's in Annex 15 in the big document. Then we have electrification of small and medium enterprises funded again by government of Uganda. This one is actually meant to deliver electricity to small and micro enterprises that were developed by government, especially in agriculture. There are so many mini factories. Honorable Kibasanga talked about it. We have a project which is going to take electricity to those small and micro enterprises. We have another project, additional grid extension works to power lines constructed under African Development Bank. This work includes the construction of 35.39 kilometers of medium voltages. And this one is mainly addressing Western Uganda, Midwestern, South and Southwestern Uganda territories. And if you look at Annex 16, you'll actually find the areas which are covered by this project. And some of the questions raised that there are standing poles, it's work going on in those areas. Projects funded by development partners, there is electricity access scale-up. This was a subject of our discussion, which I presented the first day. I don't need to repeat that presentation. You know what it covers, but I'll go to the next project. Grid densification program phase 2 funded by KfW. This is a grant by German government. It's one of the projects being undertaken in regards to the grid densification program. What does that mean? Densification is where there are medium voltage lines, but they are not transformers. The areas which you said electricity goes through over urban areas, but without any electrification. This project is meant to now drop the transformers in the various parts of the country where electricity is running above the institution, especially the medium voltage, injection of transformers. And what causes the line moving, skipping some parts? Development is running very fast in this country. We may have taken a line aiming to take to a sub-county, but as we took electricity to the sub-county, there are certain centers which have developed and they require electrification now. This project is meant to provide transformers such that those areas get electrified. I would want, this part is actually very important for us, the projects which are being developed. And these are the projects which are looking more to answering a question like the one Honorable Akorikin raised. What is it? How can we now electrify? This is where we need to pay more attention. There is Uganda Rural Electrification Access Project Phase 2. And this one is going to cover 49 districts. And they are going to have 259.7 thousand kilometers of medium voltage. And this one is going to target 352 schools. And this is an area of our concern. And then it's also going to cover 282 health centers and 537 small-scale enterprises. This is where you'd want actually to cover whatever developments you are having in your constituencies. This is a project which is going to come to you for approval. It is going to be funded by African Development Bank. The project is ready. Number 2, last mile electrification support project. This one is also meant to cover 34 districts countrywide we are going to select. And it is a budget of 9.5 billion. And again, it is going to cover schools, it's going to cover health centers, and then 100 small and medium enterprises with a 413 kilometers of medium voltage, 1,964 of low voltage. Project number 3, which is coming, grid expansion to support parish development model. This is where we expect the MPs to actually see that the parish development model.
Minister, at what stage are these projects?
They are coming.
These are issues which only at what stage are they?
They have actually been packaged, and these are the ones I'm coming for approval in Parliament.
So they already passed cabinet?
They have actually passed the Development Committee of Ministry of Finance. So they are actually projects which are coming.
So you're already engaging the funders?
Yes.
Okay, go on. No, Honorable Kwizera, I'll give you a chance. I know your issue. I'll give you a chance to raise it. Just go on. Because when I kept, because I don't want us to debate in anticipation. Our rules stop us from that, and I don't want us to commit, and someone comes and says, no, we went, we told you we had the project, but we looked for money, the funder failed. So that's why I was asking, at what stage are they?
Done the initial preparatory discussions with the funders. That's why I'm even talking about the funders.
Okay.
Now, I'm actually alerting the members of Parliament. These are projects which are in the offing, and we should pay more attention to them when they come. So that's the reason I'm giving you these projects. And
Procedure on Narima.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the statement that the minister is presenting, which you called an addendum, it's part of the statement he delivered to us last time. So, want it to be procedure right? We present our matters. Since for him, he already knows every content of his statement, and he left it with us. So, want it to be procedure right? We present our issues, then for him, he can come back and rectify and he'll tell us.
Thank you. Now, Honourable Minister, the MPs are saying they've read because you applauded everything. So they are saying we would rather now go and debate. You capture their issues. I don't know if you're comfortable with that, Honourable Minister.
If they have actually read, because most of the questions, like they didn't read in the initial debate, and yet the papers were presented to you. So that's okay. Let's proceed to debate.
Thank you. The minister is ready. I'll start with Honorable Linus Ngopek. I go to Dr. Musa Noah. I go to Honorable Cadet. I go to Ik, Hilary Rokwang. And then I come to Mr. Msingu's here. Colleagues, don't mind, I'm just first speaking this side, then after I come this side, okay? Don't stretch. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
wait emmere ogire sinaye nga sirabako kawaaka weekali wano
teweerabira leta bubiri
sumulula buli alina akacupa kyokunywa kikwongera amaanyi kinywa kufunamu enjawulo kiri ku mutindo w'amanywamu eyo kalimu ebirungo bakalunga janawuzi bagiteekamu eri omwo omubisi gw'enjuki nagwo gusanga omwo kagaba waaka kanyweko n'owulira waaka kombucha drink kyekyokunywa ekisinga byonna era nga kikolebwa kampani y'ekyama Enterprises Limited. Kati gwakyetaaze tufunire ku namba z'essimu zino wammanga 0701 734 oba 0783 10 38 waaka kombucha drink bw'oba onywa yekka.
Yasizemu magulu yemekera tuwe kinyumiri omukiri
abanyamuzale n'abanyamukaka mukowa mawuno aguse n'omwana w'omukala tinamu
kimanja ekitalya mmere kibeera kimanja
muyunivaze inembalala nga 5 Septemba 2026 okuyingira kugenda kuba mutwalo vyepe emitwalo 2 golula emitwalo 5 ate pulanamu yakakane eminyeto gy'abanyankole gyona abayimbi b'omuka ayibambe mujaba w'ekitiribita lilipaza lundabe okuba w'eshongororo kati ngambe tedikulanga kulala univase inembalala nga 5 Septemba 2026 yelilipazo festival.
It's happy time, Chomelo. Bathing time, Chomelo. Bulira bulungi, I feel so nice. Sing chom 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 chom, Chomelo. Again chom 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 chom, Chomelo.
Ono yekyogero waffe kafulumu kujjanjaba endwadde ez'ensusu zonna mu bato n'abakulu gamba ng'embalabe obuwere ebiguuna kyogero habo soap ne kyogero habo jeri biri mu sayizi ez'enjawulo ennene n'entono bisangibwa mu maduuka gonna mu ggwanga kyogero ly'essuubi ly'ensusu zaffe.
Start something new, something uplifting, something so effortless and golden. A thirst-quenching burst of sweetness and multi-flavor, so rich and full of memories. It's 100% taste, zero alcohol. Try it. Savor.